A dramatic courtroom scene reportedly unfolded as Diddy's legal team was caught off guard by footage prosecutors claimed they were about to present. The atmosphere in the room became tense and quiet as the judge prepared to proceed, while Diddy's expression was said to shift noticeably and his attorneys quickly conferred an urgency. According to accounts from the courtroom, prosecutors then referenced video evidence allegedly involving a teenage Justin Bieber, a revelation that immediately changed the tone in the room and heightened attention from everyone present.
We are going to get started with something that Diddy and his lawyers knew was coming down the pike eventually, and now it has happened. A new indictment, it's called a superseding indictment. It really replaces the original one that the federal prosecutors had filed against him. And the big headline here is that now they are saying there are 2 more victims.
This was no ordinary lawsuit or routine accusation. It carried a different weight in the room. For the first time, the man known for his confidence, influence, and long-standing image of control appeared visibly unsettled, as if the situation had shifted beyond anything he could easily manage.
Sean Diddy Combs reportedly underwent treatment in a hospital as he continues to await trial on sex trafficking charges. According to Page 6, the 55-year-old was transported from Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
But to understand why that moment carried so much impact, it's important to look at what led up to it. Sean Diddy Combs, once widely regarded as a dominant force in hip-hop and business, now finds himself fighting on multiple fronts to preserve his reputation, his freedom, and the empire he built over decades as he faces a wave of lawsuits and serious federal allegations.
In the meantime, let's talk about the fact that Combs' co-defendant in a civil case, a case, by the way, that accuses him and this co-defendant, another A-lister, of rape. This guy is once again slamming the attorney behind the case, insisting that he be sanctioned for allegedly not doing his job. We're talking, of course, about Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, once again calling out attorney Tony Busby, calling out his character, more specifically into question, claiming that the Texas attorney's filings have, quote, substantial inaccuracies and that there was a failure to properly investigate before filing. Now, we've talked about this before, but basically, a civil lawsuit was filed against Sean Combs on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and another celebrity at a home after the Video Music Awards in 2000. She says she was just 13 years old when this happened. And weeks after the initial filing, Busby submitted an amended complaint naming Jay-Z as the celebrity who allegedly participated in this assault.
Whispers and allegations surrounding his personal life have intensified public scrutiny, with reports suggesting that some former associates have distanced themselves amid the controversy. At the center of much of this discussion is Justin Bieber, whose name has repeatedly surfaced in speculation connected to the broader claims being made, further fueling debate and attention around the case.
Claims. Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
Over the years, online speculation has often focused on the visible association between Diddy and young pop star Justin Bieber, with renewed attention after his September arrest prompting people to revisit older clips and public appearances. One resurfaced interview from 2009 has been widely discussed, where Diddy mentions spending time with Bieber for an extended period and describes it in a playful, ambiguous way, while Bieber responds lightheartedly. The clip has since been interpreted in different ways across social media, with viewers debating its context and meaning.
Turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
At the time, the exchange was largely seen as nothing more than an awkward moment between a major music executive and a young artist under his wing. However, as allegations against Diddy gained momentum and public attention increased, that same clip has since been reinterpreted by many through a more critical and unsettling lens.
So young Justin Bieber, who was signed by Usher, involved with Scooter Braun, now all of a sudden he's being put in the hands of Diddy, who, it is true, he became the legal guardian for Usher. You can look up all of the allegations of what Diddy did to Usher. A lot of this coming out via multiple lawsuits that essentially, if we were to put it in a nice context, or at least use a euphemism for something that's really disgusting, the allegations are essentially that Diddy very much initiated Usher into Hollywood. And as we are going through these lawsuits and Diddy is in prison, we are recognizing that everybody knew. This was an open secret about what Diddy was doing. So it just begs question, who allowed Justin Bieber to be in the presence of this man, knowing what he was up to, allegedly up to? That seems to be very clear, that there is some veracity to those claims.
Inside the courtroom, a prosecutor referenced a video they described as crucial evidence to the case. Diddy's legal team quickly raised objections, but the judge ruled to allow it to be shown, and the proceedings moved forward despite their protest.
Now, the defense wanted copies of these videos handed over to them, not just the ability to view them at the prosecution's office. They wanted copies of these videos for themselves. And I've talked to lawyers about this before. There's a big advantage to having the electronic video, the electronic evidence yourself, right? You don't have to always go over to the other office. You can view the materials on your own. It's a way to better prepare for your defense. And Sean Combs' lawyers argued that under the federal rules of criminal procedure, if the defendant asks for it, the government has to give a defendant the opportunity to inspect and to copy electronic data that is in the government's possession. Judge Subramanian denied the defense's motion to amend the protective order, but without prejudice, meaning this issue could be revisited. So Subramanian's order reads, quote, "While the government objects to handing the videos over, they provide several options for a defendant to consider that would permit the defense to view the videos, access the information they're looking for, and even allow them to manipulate the videos as they see fit."
Over the years, Justin Bieber has largely stayed away from discussing the early stages of his career and the industry relationships that shaped his rise. However, since the emergence of legal troubles involving Diddy, there has been ongoing public speculation that he has taken steps, subtle and largely unspoken, to distance himself from that period, though these interpretations remain based on outside observation rather than confirmed statements.
Justin Bieber's got more on his mind than Diddy's arrest. A source telling ET the new dad's energy is going towards wife Haley and son Jack. And he's not focused on what is going on with Diddy or the allegations against him.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
The insider info coming after footage of Diddy and Justin resurfaced on social media. Videos showed the disgraced media mogul alongside teenage Justin, with online sleuths speculating if, at the time, he subjected the pop star to his alleged freak-offs.
First, reports and online observations suggested that Usher was unfollowed by Scooter Braun, a detail that drew attention because Usher was once publicly credited with helping connect him to Diddy early in his career. Around the same time, further changes in his professional circle emerged, including reported separation from longtime manager Scooter Braun, a move many saw as part of a broader shift in his industry relationships.
Okay. Justin was signed when he was just 13 years old. And I should mention he was signed by Usher to a label that was owned jointly by both Scooter Braun and Usher. And he was considered Usher's protege. He has been described Usher as his mentor. Justin Bieber is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is.
Then resurfaced interviews of Justin Bieber began circulating again, where he spoke openly about the pressures of growing up in the spotlight, the challenges he faced in the industry at a young age, and the personal struggles he has continued to work through. Another widely shared moment showed him expressing concern for younger artists like Billie Eilish, talking about wanting to help protect them from some of the difficulties he experienced early in his career. In light of renewed public attention, those clips have taken on added meaning for many viewers, who now interpret them through a different and more reflective lens.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I don't want to, I'm never going to force myself to be in relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
I'm not even kidding. Watching that clip makes me emotional because he is saying so much without really saying anything. Protect Billie Eilish from what? From who? What is he so concerned about when he sees this young person in the industry? What exactly did he go through? Well,
fans online began drawing their own conclusions, while investigators and prosecutors reportedly continued building a broader case. Diddy's legal troubles were initially said to stem from a single allegation involving an aspiring musician referred to as John Doe, who claimed he was drugged and assaulted at a 2015 after-party. However, according to reporting and court filings described in the media, that accusation was viewed as part of a wider set of claims that later expanded into a more complex and far-reaching legal case.
And while disgraced movie mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been slammed with another lawsuit. An unnamed person has accused the music mogul of drugging and assaulting him. As per a lawsuit which was filed in New York, the incident allegedly took place in 2015. Prosecutors and the lawyer representing the alleged victims in the case have been behind a substantial number of suits brought against Combs over the past year, including one that named Jay-Z as an additional defendant. The new lawsuit says that in 2015, the unnamed male person had approached Combs with the aspirations of becoming a rapper and singer. The 23-year-old was scheduled to open for a popular music artist at a series of Los Angeles nightclubs. Now, prior to his performance, he was informed that Combs would be in attendance, and should the performance go well, Combs would consider signing him to Bad Boy Records. The lawsuit further stated that later that night he attended an after party where there were other well-known entertainers who were taking in drugs. Now, one of Combs' associates handed him a drink which he later realized was drugged. The unnamed person has further claimed that during his unconscious state, Diddy Combs had engaged in unconsented sexual activities. Meanwhile, in a statement provided to media, Combs' attorneys say, and I'm quoting here, "As we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are facially ridiculous.
Additional allegations followed, and reporting suggested the investigation widened beyond the initial claim into a more complex set of accusations. Authorities were said to be reviewing multiple claims involving abuse and coercion, along with broader allegations that some individuals may have been pressured or discouraged from speaking out, all of which contributed to an increasingly expansive and closely watched legal case.
So, according to the complaint, Jane Doe says that, again, when she was 13 years old in 2000, when her and a friend drove to Radio City Music Hall in New York City, where the Video Music Awards, the VMAs, were being held, she says she didn't have a ticket. So what does she do? She mills about outside, and that's when she says that one of Sean Combs' limo drivers told her to come back later and he would take her to an after party. She claims that she was given a drink at this after party, which she now believes was drugged. She claims she started feeling woozy, went to find somewhere to lay down, and that is when she says she was raped by Jay-Z and Sean Combs.
Prosecutors have alleged that some of Diddy's private gatherings, often referred to in media coverage as freak-off parties, may have been more serious in nature than their public reputation suggested. According to these claims, the events, described as involving heavy partying and industry networking, are now being examined as part of broader allegations in which individuals were allegedly placed in vulnerable circumstances and pressured in ways that raise legal questions.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you would have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
The new interview, part of Investigation Discovery's docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
My job is to shield his private life from the public.
Pines even sharing audio he says is of Diddy telling Pines to bring him various substances during those Wild King nights.
Phil, I need some Cialis. Can you give me 20 Xanax, please? Hey, Phil, I need a plan B.
I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." He grabbed me by the shoulders, pushed me to a girl that was on the couch.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right? I have kids. I don't even post. And then, the Twitter trolls will be, we're her kids. Well, I'm protecting them. And this is sad. I mean, this is sad. And this one with Bieber.
This is the Bieber thing. One? Yeah.
Where are the parents?
Yeah. And which parent would say, you know what? We don't know you. We know that you're a celebrity. Go and hang out with this guy for weeks on end by yourself. And at what time, at what era is this cool?
In the most critical years, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. How is this, Alina? They both turn. How is this normal?
So
they
both
turn into superstars. Yeah. That's the sacrifice you make. Yeah, that's the sacrifice. But one of them had to go to church and he freaking lost his mind.
Justin Bieber was frequently present in early industry environments due to his rapid rise in the music world, and much of the current discussion online centers on what exposure he may or may not have had to adult industry spaces at a young age. However, it's important to separate public speculation from verified facts. There is no confirmed evidence that he was directly involved in or affected by any of the allegations tied to Diddy's legal case. As for claims about video evidence or insider interpretations, those remain part of ongoing reporting, legal proceedings, and unverified commentary. Until anything is officially presented and confirmed in court, such assertions should be treated as allegations and speculation rather than established fact.
Breaking news now. Prosecutors have detailed new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. And among these new charges, prosecutors say Combs led a criminal organization that they call the Combs Enterprise. Members are accused of trafficking and traveling across state lines to engage in prostitution, arson, robbery, and obstruction of justice. Combs is being held at a federal jail in Brooklyn as of late, and he's already pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation in prostitution.
Prosecutors reportedly maintain that the case is still developing, with additional witnesses and further evidence potentially being presented as proceedings continue. According to these claims, the investigation is examining a wider range of allegations related to Diddy's business and personal activities, as well as how his influence and operations were structured over time, though all of these points remain part of an ongoing legal process.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're here at Hillsong Conference 2017, having the best time. And how you guys doing? Are you guys enjoying conference? Carl, shout out Virgil. Shout out.
Yeah, it was a very good talk.
Very good. So
we've had, you know what? We had the best. Had a couple cool moments. Went to Young and Free.
I think it's always really. So
shout out to Lorenzo.
So theme.
And so my response is I want to come closer to him. I want to live a life that's closer to God than ever before.
Absolutely. Justin. Samesies.
Samesies. Carl. I want to get close like that wisp is to Justin. No, I want to get better.
I just want to love Carl more.
You're doing a good job of that.
For Justin Bieber, the renewed attention has led some observers to revisit earlier chapters of his career and public life. Over the years, fans have noted periods where he faced visible personal challenges, including mental health struggles and substance-related issues, often debating whether these were the result of early fame and constant public pressure. While speculation continues online about broader industry influences, there is no verified evidence linking these personal struggles to any specific individuals or alleged events.
And there's a return.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people investing in different things. We all chose to, let's go invest in this. And our return has been supernatural.
Yeah.
Stuff you can't.
Yeah.
And what the return is. If you don't like that, I would say maybe have a look at investing. It doesn't have to be this per se, but something that builds your soul. For us, it happens
so much. I miss you, and I want you to come to Hillsong Conference next year with me.
Yes.
What can be stated accurately is that Sean Diddy Combs has long been a prominent figure in hip-hop and business, and like many high-profile industry leaders, he has worked with and around younger artists throughout his career. Those professional relationships have sometimes been discussed in media and online commentary, particularly in light of recent legal allegations against him. However, broader claims about patterns of behavior or intent remain part of public debate and speculation unless they are supported by verified evidence or findings in court. At this stage, it's important to distinguish between established facts, ongoing legal proceedings, and interpretations circulating in public discussion.
Sonny Slaughter, let's talk about that. When we think about famous celebrities who are shaking in their boots this morning, I would imagine these investigators are going to want to talk to a lot of people, that a lot of interviews may still need to be done. Would you speak to that, please, Sonny, the investigation aspect of this and what more needs to be done to gather all the information about what Diddy allegedly did?
Good morning, Julie and my esteemed colleagues. So what I can tell you is that there has already been a lot of conversation with some of the celebrities that have been identified as victims, and another term that I use is victim perpetrators. So although some of these individuals may have been victims, they may have also been perpetrators that participated in the forced fraud and coercion of others. So those investigations, those conversations have already started, and everyone, as I have stated before, needs to obtain legal counsel.
Public discussion has increasingly tried to place Justin Bieber within a broader web of early industry relationships, but much of that framing remains speculative and not supported by verified findings. While Bieber has not publicly accused Diddy of wrongdoing and has generally avoided commenting in detail on specific past connections, online observers often interpret his evolving professional boundaries and selective privacy as meaningful signals, even though such interpretations are not confirmed by any official statement or legal record. As of now, what exists is a mix of public curiosity, resurfaced content, and ongoing legal proceedings involving Diddy, alongside a separate narrative about Bieber's personal growth and changing relationship with fame.
we really didn't have very much say-so. I would say that.
Huh.
As far as like, songs, as far as
first album. The first
yeah,
album.
first album. That first album we were
The songs was picked and everything before we even came into the situation.
And it was a great album. So I mean, this is nothing that we're against. It was a really great album. But at the same time, our creative portion of that wasn't in hand. We did a lot of the second. We had a lot to do with the second album and moving forward. You know what I mean? So.
Well, Brian, you said in terms of working with Diddy, you said when Diddy would walk in the room, there's an aura about him that scares you. It's interesting
Somebody
these
said this
days.
some years ago.
Speak on it, man.
Speak about
that aura that scares you.
It wasn't like scared. I was scared. No, I was just like, no, it wasn't that it was scary, and I might have like used the wrong words. It was just like, okay, I gotta prepare for whatever Diddy I'm about to receive today. I gotta prepare for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cause like sometimes they'd be like, yo, what up, Playboy? And sometimes they'd be like,
don't try, motherfucker, dude.
yeah, don't try, motherfucker, dude. No, I'm just like.
And if the prosecution's evidence is as powerful as they claim, Diddy's empire isn't just crumbling, it's collapsing. For Bieber, the question now is, will he finally speak out? Or will the industry that failed him once again convince him to stay silent?
Would you? Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. Like, I've kind of had it with my father. You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk. Okay.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. Like, he's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asking him as one of the questions, like, have you had the sex talk? This is Hollywood for you guys. This is what I've been speaking to you about, and it has just become so unbelievably clear that it is dark and it is demonic.
Diddy has spent decades cultivating a highly managed public image, but in recent years, he has faced increasing legal and media scrutiny. With multiple lawsuits and ongoing investigations reported in the public domain, attention around him has intensified and the situation is being closely followed as it develops. Some commentators frame the moment as part of a broader and more complex legal battle with wider industry implications, though the full scope and outcomes are still unfolding and remain subject to court proceedings and verified evidence.